action.
1, 2, 3, action.
Okay, so I'm Cynthia, and I'm the host of the reality series, CPS Horror Stories. I'm not an attorney or a social worker, but I am a mom who had our children kidnapped by Child Protective Services. After 2 years of fighting, I did get my kids back, but that doesn't mean that we don't still deal with the trauma and devastation that CPS causes and leaves you to deal with for the rest of your life. Now I have this platform where I advocate for parents, and I interview them to let them expose the truth about who CPS really is and how they're little about protecting our children anymore, but instead they're about the dollar signs above our children's heads. So would you like to introduce yourself? Tell me a little bit about you, where you're from, and so on and so forth.
My name is Loribeth Wilson, and I live in Texas on an Army post. I had two little girls that were, we were 2 weeks away from adoption, and CPS came and removed them. And I have two older kids that are 18 and 23 almost.
Who is in the military?
My ex-husband.
Okay, just wondering.
Mm-hmm.
Now, were you in the military? Were you involved with CPS at all prior to any of this happening?
We had my husband's niece and nephew for 11 months, but nothing, like, it was just like my two other ones, you know what I mean? It wasn't like I've never had no open case or nothing.
Wow, that's crazy. And you said that you have two older children, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are they?
My son's going to be 23 in December, and then my daughter just turned 18 in July.
Wow, okay. So tell me about these two they're two, right?
There's two of them, yes, ma'am.
Okay, tell me about these two younger ones and how you came about having them in your life, and then we can talk about how CPS got involved. But let's start with them being in your life first.
Okay, they were my friend's children. I'll just call her S. S will be 5 in October, and she was in a total different county than the baby was at. And I fought for her for 11 months to get her, a little over 11 months. And then I got the baby.
When you were fighting for her, did you have her in your care?
No, I didn't. No.
Where was she in the 11 months?
Brazoria County in a foster home. And the foster home, I became really good friends with them, and they are amazing people. I mean, there's not many out there like that, you know, but we're like best friends and family.
Okay.
And
the mom, where was the mom?
Florida, Texas, all over the place, to be honest.
Okay. And you said she's a relative or a friend?
A friend.
Okay. So this is something that she wanted as well, correct?
Yes, she wanted both girls to be together.
And in your
And they wouldn't give her, yes, ma'am. They wouldn't give her any information, and I had to hunt down people at CPS.
Now, when you were having to fight for them, can we start with before you had to fight for them? Were they in your care?
Mm-hmm. Yes. S was in my care from April until October. But prior to that, she was with another foster home. So I was the second placement she had ever been at, and I was supposed to be for her forever. And she was there.
Sorry, I apologize interrupting you. I just want to start with how they got in your care.
Oh, okay. I got the baby when she was 3 weeks old. She's one of my really good friend's daughters. We went to the first meeting that the court date, and the judge sided with us and put her in my care.
But why didn't the mom want or
because they took the baby. They took the baby straight from the hospital.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
That was on my end. Why did they take the baby?
To be honest, there wasn't really good living conditions.
Okay.
And they did tell the mom if they relinquished rights on the older one, then they could keep the baby, and they straight up lied to them, straight up. So.
Okay. Why did they? Is it the same mom and dad for both the girls?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And let's go back to the first one. Did they raise the first one?
For 18 months, yes.
Okay. And everything was good?
CPS went in there and removed her. From what I read in her redacted file was a bunch of BS. Like you couldn't even like piece it together, you know. And they were like writing them, and they removed her, and that was it.
So they removed the older one.
Mm-hmm.
And what were the allegations?
Neglect and abuse, but she was not neither one.
Now, were the parents using at the time or anything like that?
No, I'm not 100% sure, but maybe pot.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure on that one.
Were they in the military as well? No.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so CPS gets involved. Do you happen to know who called on them?
No. The biological dad is autistic. Oh, my husband and my sister.
Called on your friend.
Yes. Oh, are you talking? Oh, them, yeah. No, I think it was his grandmother that called on them. I thought you were talking about my husband. Yeah, it was his grandmother that called.
Whose grandmother?
The kid's biological father's mom.
Okay. And so the grandmother called CPS and stated neglect.
Mm-hmm. They were giving her medicine to go to sleep. They were keeping her in a dark room. Supposedly she had a handprint on her face, and she was always dirty. But every picture I ever seen, it wasn't like that.
Okay. So CPS gets involved and removes the older child, because I'm assuming she's the only one that's alive at that time.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So they remove her and put her in foster care or put her with you?
Nope, foster care.
Okay. And did they give the mom and dad opportunity to have her placed with the friend or family member?
No, I don't think so. I'm not 100% sure on that one. I really wasn't around back then on that one.
So when did you step up and get involved?
At the beginning of April 6th is when we went to court for the baby in 2018.
18. Okay. And you go to court because she asked you to be the foster mom?
She wanted the baby placed with me.
Okay.
And we go to court, and they agreed, and CPS, they had 1 week, and CPS they came out, did like checked my home or whatever. And then when they brought her to me on April 27th, they didn't call me. They didn't text me. I just knew that she was coming one day during the week, you know. And this is like 4:45 on a Friday. And she comes in with a car seat that was probably like expired like 20 years ago. It was raining out, and all she had on was a little onesie and a pair of socks and a receiving blanket and no formula.
Just out of curiosity, because they say to dress the babies how we would dress, even though it's raining, what would you have worn that day?
I had long sleeves on, to be honest.
Okay,
It
so
was
it's chilly.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And who brings the baby to your house? CPS does?
Yes, her caseworker, that was her last day on the case because she was going to Georgia.
Okay. In a car seat that's old.
Expired. You wanted to be honest, it's the same one I had for my daughter, and my daughter's 18. So it was like, what, 15 years old at that point, 15 and a half years old. It was the same exact one. No base, no nothing, no headrest, nothing. Oh, wait, and a little 98-cent bottle.
Wow.
No clue what kind of formula she was on or nothing.
And this is the baby,
Yes,
the
ma'am.
youngest of the two.
Yes,
How old was she at that time?
3 weeks. 3.5 weeks.
Do you happen to know why she was being pulled from the parents?
Something happened at the hospital. I do know that, and there was like arguing and blah blah blah, and the hospital called on them, and there was no drugs though. But then they went and checked the house, and the house wasn't fit.
Did you ever see the house?
No, I did not. I've seen the outside, yes, but not the inside.
I wonder or bet that it was just because there was an open case already with the eldest child.
Yes, that's what I believe 100%, ma'am.
Makes me so sad and disgusted to know that they just take our children away like this.
And then last August, I was driving in the next town over, and I seen their dad. And you can't hide my vehicle, you know. He knew what it is, and I saw him, and he came over and held the girls for a minute, and he killed them. Committed suicide 3 days later. Yes, ma'am. It's horrible. And then, yeah, it's rough. I send the biological mom pictures. I always did. I don't really care what CPS said about that. You know what I mean? Because she does love her kids and the dad, and you know, so yeah, I don't know. It's a messed up situation.
That happened
The baby last August, a year ago.
How did the mom?
Yes, ma'am. The mom took it pretty hard. And the biological, the biological grandparents reached out to me on the day he passed away, and I've become pretty close with the biological grandfather and stepmom.
Wow.
And neither one of my kids' cases, Scotland or Montana's, were linked together. So one was Brazoria County in Texas, and the other one was Coryell County. And if it wouldn't have been for me, they would have never met eye to eye. And then they'd never switched my 4-year-old's case up here. So I was dealing with like 2 different counties, 2 different caseworkers, blah, blah, blah. It's crazy. So when they came in and took the kids, there was no cause for safety, neglect, or abuse. They said my mental health. I passed my psychological with flying colors.
Right. So, wow, okay. So let's go back when they bring the baby to you.
Mm-hmm.
How old was the baby again? I apologize. 3 weeks?
3 weeks, yes.
Okay.
Almost 4.
Was the mom breastfeeding?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, they bring her to you, no formula, nothing. Why did they bring her to you?
Do what?
Like, why did they bring her to you? Did the mom request? Were you on the list?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The judge had approved it, and CPS had a week to bring her to me.
Okay. What about the sister?
Well, she was all the way down in Brazoria County, And I started asking about her like May 5th, even before that, actually, of 2018. And I could get no answers, no answers, no answers. And then October 31st is when we had our first phone conference of 2018.
Okay.
And they didn't want to give her to me. So.
Why?
Because they said that Scotland needed to be an only child in a home, that she doesn't do good with other kids, blah blah blah. You know.
Is this the older one?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not
But
sure if you said
she
her
don't
name,
like
but let's
change.
not.
Oh, I'm using their adoptive names.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, Scotland and Montana.
Got it. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So Scotland's the older one?
Yes.
Okay, and Montana will be the baby.
Yes, ma'am.
Got it.
Yeah.
And so CPS is stating they think it's best for Scotland, the older one, to be a single child.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Isn't
But
it
she was in
great
a home.
when they try to play God?
Yes, ma'am. Or what they know it's best for the kids when they visit with them, what, an hour a month?
Maybe if that.
Right.
How old was she at that time?
3.5.
Okay. Who was she with? The foster parents? Were they older or younger? Did they have children? How was that scene?
To be honest with you, her foster mom is an older couple. They have one biological child, but they've adopted several. They've had over 200 plus foster kids. Everybody loves them. They're like your ideal like American couple.
Wow.
Yes, I adore them.
Okay.
And then I know my Scotland's foster sister took it really hard. She still takes it really hard. I mean, she was with that child for, 2 years. Every day, day and night, sleeping in the same room with her, doing everything, singing gospel songs to go to sleep.
This is the mom?
No, the foster sister.
Oh,
But yes,
sister.
all of them. Yeah.
How
So,
old was the foster sister?
I think she was like 16 when they got her.
Okay, so it was okay for her to have foster siblings, but not be in a home with her real sibling?
No, ma'am.
I'm confused.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
Me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
I got my first visit with her December 28th of 2018.
So, did you ever get her in your care?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we're not there.
No, I did multiple visits with her. She came, so I started pushing it, right? So they were like, okay, well, she's going to come for a long weekend. And I'm like, okay, well, she came down for the baby's birthday. And then I'm like, well, can she stay the week? And they're like, yes. And I said, okay, so we're supposed to do like 3 weeks of, and then I was like, well, can she just stay permanently since she's not she's adjusting just great, they get along. And they were like, yes, but her caseworker got put on desk duty. This is, I officially got her on the 18th of April of 2019 because her husband beat the crap out of her and her daughter. Well, their child. Yes, ma'am. So her placement paperwork couldn't take place until the last day of April of 2019. Her caseworker and me were pretty close, and she was sending me videos and everything of her own biological children.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to cry.
Huh?
I don't want to cry.
So what happened?
And
Go ahead.
and the day they removed both of them is the day I had Scotland for 6 months. But on paper, it wouldn't have been till the last day of October.
Now, were you wanting to adopt Scotland and?
Yes, ma'am. Our adoption was supposed to take place November 2nd of 2019.
But you didn't even get her.
I had her 6 months.
Okay. When did you get her? I thought you said you didn't get her till December.
No, I had my first visit of December 28th of 2018. And then she moved in with me April 18th of 2019.
Okay.
So yeah, it's
And
crazy.
what happened to your case manager?
To who? Oh, her
You
caseworker.
said you were. Yes.
Scotland's
You said you were close
caseworker.
to her.
Oh, I was super close with her. We were sending video, like she was sending me videos of her kids, cooking. We'd talk multiple times a day. But she got put on desk duty, so this is why Scotland's paperwork couldn't come be done until the last day of April of 2019 because she was on desk duty because her husband beat the crap out of her and their daughter.
How old was the daughter?
I want to say she was about 16, 17. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But her kids never got taken away. Mm-hmm.
Isn't that amazing?
It is really like, how can these people sleep with themselves at night? I don't get
Right.
it. Do not get it.
You know, what's crazy is how you and I were talking about health issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I've had to have a lot of is surgeries. I've had a lot of
Mm-hmm.
surgery. And when you've had surgeries, you know, they give you pain medication.
Yep.
And I've never abused pain meds or anything like that. But they really put me down for ever even needing any pain meds. And my social worker, who was really putting me down, happened to get in a car accident and need pain meds. And it was just, like you said, not that we would ever even wish anything bad upon any of these workers or people or anything. Mm-hmm. But isn't it crazy how they end up getting a taste of their own medicine?
Took the words right out of my mouth. I agree with you 100%.
But they still even get what's the word? Like a different ticket than us, you know?
Yeah. I swear they get a thrill out of stealing our kids.
I was watching people send us things all the time on our Facebook and stuff. Mm-hmm. And somebody sent us a video today, as a matter of fact, of this mom and dad who had already had a child removed. And mm-hmm. I'm not sure why. I don't know the befores. But they had just had a baby. It was like a couple weeks old. And they went to go get some food. And the police, there was like 8 police officers blocking in their car so they can't move. And their attorney is the one videotaping all of this.
Oh, Connie? Is that yes, I published that last night. I shared it all on my page.
Did you send it to us to post?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Somebody sent it to us to post. Now I didn't get to watch the whole thing. I don't know.
I've watched it 3 times.
What happened? So can you fill me in then? I was just looking away.
Well, they took the baby and with no cause, because there was an open case in some other county, but the county had told the mom or the baby's mom that the case was closed, and it wasn't on her, it was on the baby's father. And they were going to trial in like 2 days. It's amazing, like what lawyer comes out at 11 o'clock at night? She is amazing. And the baby is so gorgeous. And she's
Yeah.
breastfed too. Oh, and the caseworker couldn't even get the car seat strapped in right. It took her literally like probably 5 or 6 minutes to get the car seat in right, maybe longer. Like, where do these people get their schooling from? Like the Cracker Jack box? You know, like, for real, like, it is what it, I mean, and Texas is the worst.
Everybody says that about their state. I think they're all bad. I think CPS is just bad. They need to be
You're right.
blown up.
You got that right, girl. And so since both my girls have been in their foster home, their new foster home, right? They put them 3 hours away from me, almost 4 hours. I have not had one visit. I have not had blah blah blah, right? And because I'm not a parent, but I have rights because I had the baby for 18 months. I got a pro bono attorney, and he just wasn't worth a hoot. So he withdrew it from my case, and now I don't have an attorney. But so Scotland had her adenoids taken out. She was never on one antibiotic the whole time I had her. And the previous foster home, she only had like maybe one antibiotic in 2.5 years. Then my baby, Montana, she had tubes put in her ears, which, okay, I get it. That could have happened with anybody, but never happened with me. And then she had fluid around her heart. She's regurgitating her food for hours on end, even now. She's hitting her head off of walls and floors. She's not sleeping. Her favorite 3-letter word is "leave me alone." They're saying that she's just now hitting all her milestones. Well, I have videos and evidence of her climbing the stairs at 9.5 months old. I have a video of her saying "good job" at 9.5 months old.
How old is she now?
She's 2.5.
So let's go back. So you get the baby
Mm-hmm.
in April. Did the sisters meet yet? Have they met yet?
Nope, they didn't meet until I met Scotland in December. I'm sorry, December of 2018. No, they had no clue about each other. Not like the baby would remember, anyways. But
Well, yeah.
Nope.
Now, did mom and dad lose their rights completely?
They relinquished.
When did they do that?
July of 2018, August.
Didn't they give the rights up to you though, or did they just give them up to the state and then you tried to come in and fight?
Well, they gave them up to the state, and I was the perfect fit for them. So yeah, I was adopting through the state, through them. I've never done anything like this before, so.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you come in, and I'm just trying to get the whole picture of how you come in and like get them, and then how they get taken from you.
Well, okay, so the baby's caseworker was very prejudiced. She did not like me because I'm not going to kiss her butt for anybody. You know what I mean? And there was discrepancies in my home study, blah, 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 and
I'm listening, but my camera might go off for a minute.
Okay, there's discrepancies in my home study, and so they came in and they called my mom, and my mom verified everything, and they removed them.
Okay, but let's first talk about how you got them, because that sounded like that was a difficult thing to even get them.
Well, with Montana, the baby, I literally got her at 3 weeks old, and I had her for 18 months. Scotland was the one that was the hard one to get. The 4-year-old.
Okay, so you get the baby at 3 weeks old, but until you get the older one, how did that go? Did you have to do any services through the state? What did the documentation look like? How often were you in court? All of that stuff.
We did court every 6 months with permanency. No, I wasn't licensed. I mean, I got my fingerprints and stuff done, my FBI check, and they weren't licensing me till the week of adoption. And my paperwork says evictive kin home.
Okay. And why did it take so long for you to get the older one? And were you seeing her in the meantime?
We started seeing each other in December 28th of 2018, and we visited like once a week, once every 2 weeks until she got placed with me. But at the end of March, she started staying with me for like a week at a time. And then she got placed with me the April 18th of 2019. And we would FaceTime and everything in between.
Did she call you mom?
Yes, ma'am. She sure did.
And how did it work? How did it work with your husband? Was he involved?
Yeah, he was supposed to adopt too, and then we separated last September, and he said that he didn't want to adopt anymore, and I was doing everything I could to so I could adopt, and I had no issues with me adopting by myself. I had updated my home study and everything.
Okay, so I'm just confused on why it took so long for you to get the older one in your life.
They didn't want to release her. They did not want to give me her until her caseworker got turned over to adoption prep.
And this is the same caseworker that got beat?
Yes.
So you were close to her or no?
No, I was super close to her.
So let's skip to December. Now you have both girls.
No, I met, are you talking about 2018?
Yes.
No, I got to see her for the first time. We met at a McDonald's place for an hour.
Oh, that's what I was asking. So I thought from April when you had the baby to December, I thought you had been seeing her.
No.
Okay, now I'm like ultra confused.
Okay, so it took me literally 11 months to track down caseworkers and everything. So of 2018 in October, we finally got a meeting on the phone, like a conference, and they did not want to release her to me because she doesn't get along with kids. She needs to be an only child. She has speech delay. How am I going to take care of her? How am I going to take care of her and her sister together? I'm like,
Even though she has foster siblings.
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
A bunch of them too.
And this is what the social workers are saying or the judge is saying?
Nope, the social worker. This was before I went to adoption prep.
Right.
So they hadn't turned over her case to adoption prep until like November of 2018.
So can you explain to me how, because I'm unfamiliar when it comes to like the law and stuff, how does it look you coming in to want this child? Is it because bio mom says I want my children to go to her? Does that make sense what I'm asking?
Yes. Bio mom had written a letter to the baby. Well, CPS can't find it now. Stating that she was with the best place she could be with, and to hope someday she gets to meet her sister. Me personally, I fought for Scotland because I think sisters should be together. They should keep family together and not have one at this part of Texas and one at this part of Texas.
Right.
And I said right from the word go, if her first foster family wanted to adopt her, I would have no problem with that because that's what she knows. And I didn't want to disrupt her life, you know? But then I found out her teacher was trying to adopt her and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Why was teacher trying to adopt her?
To be honest, I never got a straight answer on that because she needed to be. What I'm surmising is because she needs to be an only child, and this was an older couple.
I'm so confused on why these people think that she needs to be an only child. Now,
Well, they're separated again.
knowing her now, would you say that that's a fair statement?
No, absolutely not.
Why would you completely disagree with it?
Because she's like, she gets along great with her sister. I mean, they have sibling, you know, but
Rivalries?
yeah, and she does throw fits. But I mean, it's my daughter, you know. It's like you do what you have to do, you know. And she's sweet, she's smart. But she could only say like maybe like 20 words when I first got her, but by the time they removed her, she was talking like really, really good. And all she wanted for her birthday was Olive Garden.
So, okay, it took you, you said 11 months to track her down?
To get her, yeah, like literally, like pretty much in my custody.
Okay, during that time, you were spending time with the baby, though, raising a baby.
Yes, ma'am. I was raising her sister.
Okay, how did that whole thing go?
As far as me, I mean,
In the
her
court
parents only did
system?
one. The court, yeah. When we went for the first permanency hearing when the baby was born, after she was born, I went to court, and the judge was cool with me taking her, and CPS had a week to bring her to me.
Okay, where was she during that week?
And she for the first first 3 weeks she was in some other foster home.
Okay. And so did you end up getting to adopt her like legally and everything through the courts?
No, I was gonna adopt both girls together at the same time. And it was supposed to take place November 2nd of 2019, last year.
Okay.
And they removed them on October 18th of 2019.
Okay. So did Bio Mom get to see the baby after she had her and while she was in your care?
I sent her pictures, and they did 1 or 2 visits when I had her, and that was it. But I would send her videos and pictures, and
Okay.
like when she started
So,
talking and crawling, and you know.
yeah. So during that whole time, now you're spending this other time trying to find older sister.
Mm-hmm.
You finally track her down. It's a slow transition getting her in your care. And then what was the date that you finally had her in your care?
April 18th of 2019.
Okay. And from April to October, did anything happen?
No, we were waiting for the 6 months to hit and we could adopt her. We were doing it on National Adoption Day.
Okay.
For my county.
Right. So then what happened?
Well, my sister and my husband fed them a whole bunch of BS, and the day before they removed them, they called me and asked me if I had why were my car seats under my carport? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I had just gotten 2 brand new car seats. I have 6 of them, mind you. And the caseworker knows this. And she called me and she's like, Lori, honey, where are you at? And I'm like, I'm just leaving to get a new place, a new house. I was like, she's like, well, somebody called me and told me that, or made accusations that you have no car seats for the kids. They're under your carport. And I'm like, okay, when I get to the car, I'll send you a picture. Well, I did something better. I FaceTimed her. Meanwhile, 3 times it took her to pick up. She must not be too concerned, right? And I said, here you go. Here's Montana. There's Scotland's. And there's her birthday cupcakes because it's her birthday. I'm about to go drop them off. Real smart. I was being real smart.
Yeah.
So then I called my husband, and he's the one that called me that accusation.
He said, well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Why would he do that?
He's very narcissistic. Not a nice person.
I have one of those.
I really don't want to put, you know what I mean?
Understood.
Very mentally and emotionally abusive, but I don't want that part on there.
Okay. Assistant.
Well, I mean, you can.
I'll have my assistants remove this part.
Okay.
And that, see, and this is why I don't do live anymore.
Mm-hmm. And he's a soldier. Bastard.
Yeah. So during this can we put in there that he was the one who called and all of that?
Oh, yeah. I just don't want the mental and emotional abuse on there.
Understood. So were you guys together? Like
No, we were
living
separated.
together? Okay. And was he either like trying to get back at you or trying to get you back?
No, he used to tell me the next bitch that does him wrong is going to pay, and that's how I was paying. Yeah. So, it's crazy. So, I don't, it's crazy.
Were you working?
Yeah, I'm a nanny.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he calls just to hurt you.
Yep. And now my baby's in foster care. Never spent a night away from me. Never went to daycare. And now she's regurgitating her food. They wanted her to see a psychiatrist. Blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. She's hitting her head off walls and floors. She's biting. Favorite word is leave me alone. She's not meeting any of her milestones, according to CPS.
Yeah, you were saying that.
I'm the only mom that baby knows.
Right. Okay, so when did this phone call happen?
October 16th of 2018.
Okay,
2019, I'm sorry.
The phone call happens. You prove that you have the car seats in the car. What happens next?
They come the next day and remove the kids.
Did they have a warrant?
Nope. No investigation, no paperwork, no removal paperwork, nothing.
Huh. Did they show up with officers?
No, ma'am. It was the baby's caseworker, Montana's caseworker, and her soup, and then there was Scotland's caseworker and my kinship worker.
And they just came and said,
well, they were like, they were asking me all kinds of questions. My mom verified everything, like I was lying to them, because there was discrepancies in my home study. And
what do you mean?
So I lied on my home study and said I was related to the girls, but their mom is like, yeah, like their mom is like my cousin. So I call my best friend my sister too. Because I don't have.
What home study?
For my home study for the adoption.
When was that?
That was I updated it in October of 2019, and I think it was done in July of 2019.
Okay, so tell me what happened. CPS came to your house and
they asked me, and they wanted my side of the story because they heard from my sister and my husband, XYZ. There was no safety, neglect, or abuse. They called my mom while my mom was at work, and she was trying to tell them, hey, I'm at work, like I can't talk right now, and they were clearly making her upset. And so they said they went outside and they we have to have a conference. We got to call Aurora supervisor, which is Scotland's caseworker, down from Brazoria County, and they came in and said they were removing the girls. And the baby's caseworker kicked my gate, slammed my door, like my baby gate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She's prejudiced because I'm not going to kiss their butts.
Right. So when they did the home study, though, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
So they did a permanency meeting for the baby on September 25th of 2019, and I was the best fit for the child. Still at that point, even though I told my husband wasn't, and me and my husband were separated, and the order when they removed the kids, the order didn't get signed from the judge until the 29th or the 30th of October of last year, after they were removed.
Say that again. I'm sorry, that confused me.
Okay, so we did a permanency hearing when we were on vacation. They had one. I was in Massachusetts with the kids and my best friend for my sister's wedding. I was still a best fit for the kids at that point, right?
Right.
So
And was that, what was the date?
last September 25th of last year.
All right.
I was separated. They knew all this. I was the best placement for the kids. They came in and removed them on the 17th of October, but the order didn't get signed until October 29th or 30th of 2019, after the kids were out of my care. Mm-hmm.
Did you tell your attorney all of this?
Yes, but they all work together.
Right, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's a shitty situation.
Yeah, it is.
And now my 4-year-old and the baby are separated.
So, okay, what did you, again, supposedly lie on or say?
That I was related to the kids.
What did you say, though? Just that I'm related?
I said we're cousins. Like, I call my best friend my sister that stays here with me. I mean, I have no real family. So we're all just like one family.
I get it. I say that about people. Now, didn't they already know all that information, though? Like, when the bio mom was stating where she wanted the girls to be?
I haven't seen that part of the paperwork.
Does that
I
make
don't
sense?
know. Yeah, it makes sense, yes. So, but in the baby's original paperwork, it says Victor Ken that we're friends. So, I mean, on the original paperwork, we're Victor Ken. You know how it goes, relative, conservator, and then Victor Ken, and it's checked right there, Victor Ken. Mm-hmm.
That's what I don't understand.
I don't understand it either, still to this day.
Yeah.
But I've been fighting tooth and nail, and I'm like, and then I see those pictures today.
The ones you sent me.
Mm-hmm. They have her up on an adoption website. I don't want that part on there, though. But I'm just telling you.
What? Say that part again.
They have her up on an adoption website. I can send you the link. I'm like, do I give up? Thank you.
No.
Look at their toys are still here. My fridge still has pictures and Scotland's star of the day because she was Oh, at school, she was a hot mess. They wouldn't even let me go to the school and get her with them. So I could tell her, like, Mommy, we'll see you later, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Good job.
I'm listening to this video.
Listen to it. She says it.
Job. Say, good job. Good job.
How old is she? Right
Nine
there.
and a, 9.5 months. You could go Montana 1, and she'd go 2T.
The older one. Oh my gosh.
Oh, are you talking about the pictures I sent you? That's my baby now. That's her aunt from the adoption website.
Wait. That was the one with the yellow bow?
Yeah.
That's the baby? She is gorgeous.
I still have her exerciser look. I still have her bottle. I can't wash it. I can't wash her blanket. They need to be shut down.
Yeah, they do. Where's the older one?
So the place they put them in, right? We went to court December 19th of 2019, and we didn't see the judge. All I could say is they wanted me to get a psychological. Well, CPS wasn't paying for it. I had to pay for it, which is fine. And when we went to court in February, in December, the new foster parents had figured out that they didn't want to adopt them because Montana had too many problems. Well, then they found another adoptive placement for my kids, the foster parents, and well, they took them for a long weekend, and then they backed out of their adoption.
What do you mean?
So they found another adoptive placement from the foster home they're in right now. They were going to adopt them. They wanted to adopt them. But the baby had too many medical problems for them, and they backed out. And then
I'm sorry. Hang on one second.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so let's pause and try to go back to where we're on the same page. So your ex-husband or current husband, whatever his title is, makes a phone call to CPS. You prove to them, son, turn that down, that they're in car seats and they're all buckled correctly. They show up at your house
the next day
and demand custody without a warrant. No officers, there's no imminent danger, there's no judge signature, there's nothing.
They did not hand me any removal paperwork whatsoever. No paperwork, period.
But they did state at that moment that during the, what is it called? When they're at your house to approve for foster, not you.
Kinship placement.
Yes, that you lied about your relationship to the mother.
This was all the same day that they removed them.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, ma'am. And they even called my mom at work. It made her really highly upset. My mom's a nurse and she's got like a really tough job. And she
Well,
even
yeah.
said they wouldn't let me call her off my own phone. They had to call her. Yeah.
She wasn't answering.
Right. They actually called her place of employment and asked for her.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
So then, okay. So they call her to say what?
They're like, well, hey, they were trying to say that I had, to see if I got ever got diagnosed with any mental disorders or anything. My mom's like, no. Yes.
What?
My mom, I don't know. They didn't say. That's all they said. And my mom was like, no, she has ADHD and she has rheumatoid arthritis.
Okay.
And the fact is, I didn't ever get put on depression medicines until the girls had already been removed in December 12th of 2019, because I couldn't handle it and I couldn't take it anymore. I had lost like 40 pounds.
Yeah, I get it.
Mm-hmm. Morning, day, and night.
What do you refer to her as? That they said you lied?
My baby's cousin. I mean, my baby's biological mom's cousin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They said that you called her your cousin.
Yep.
Okay. And you guys are like best friends.
Yeah, we were pretty close. Yeah.
Okay.
We got really super close.
Okay. I just think that it's so stupid.
Girl, you're telling me, right?
Yeah. Okay. So then they say, okay, so because of that, we're taking the kids away.
Yep. But no order had been signed until October 29th.
And there was nothing that you could do about it.
Nope.
After they took the kids, how many days after that did you have your first hearing?
2 months. But I wouldn't even call it a hearing because this was December 19th of 2019. We didn't see the judge because the judge had to leave to go to another county. And so it was February 18th of 2020 is when we really got our first hearing. And CPS, now my adoption agency I was going through, right, is the one CPS recommended. They gave me like 3 or 4 different adoption agencies. I called them. I never met with any of them but one. And my adoption worker stated on the stand that I went through 2 or 3 different adoption agencies, and they wouldn't. None of them would license me to adopt. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
And CPS said that I was lying about the baby having like a milk allergy and everything. Well, I have pictures of her breaking out in hives. Pictures, and then last May, the baby, Scotland gave the baby a Cheeto. I was running to the bathroom, and the baby was in her playpen, and she gave her one Cheeto, and I'm telling you, she had diarrhea for a week. I took her to the doctors. It gave her a yeast infection so bad. I mean, I'm telling you, it was like she was waking up like every 2 hours. I went through like $100 worth of diapers in a week. I had to go to organic diapers.
How old was she when she ate the Cheeto?
13 months, almost 14.
Or baby.
Mm-hmm. And then they said that about her milk, but I had a prescription for WIC for her formula that I gave to the judge, or gave to my attorney, I should say. And that never came up in court. It states on it right there, 18 and a half months will reassess the milk allergy. That's probably why she's regurgitating her food now.
Now, when they took the kids from you that night, where did they put them?
Well, I had to put 2 and 2 together, and it's like 4 hours from here, down in Houston County.
Did they keep them together?
Up until recently, yes, ma'am.
Where'd they put them?
They put them in the same home at first, and they were a couple looking to adopt. Well, by December, from October to December, the baby had been to the October until February, the baby had been to the doctors equivalent to as many times as I had her in 18 months. And
Say that again. Can you repeat that part? I'm sorry.
okay, so from October until February, the baby had went to the doctors equivalent to as many times as I had her in 18 months. And they at that point decided they did not want to adopt them because they had too many issues. And then I don't know if it was them that found the other placement or CPS. They found another couple that wanted to adopt 2 kids, and they took them for a long weekend. And at the end of the long weekend, they backed out of them. So back in August,
well, what's crazy to me is that they're trying to find. We're talking about allergies, and now I'm like itching everywhere.
Yes, ma'am.
What's crazy to me is that they're trying to find a home to adopt them.
Yep.
Like so soon when you're in the process of adopting them.
Yep. They tried to tell me I had no rights, and I'm like, I have standing rights to the baby. I had her over a year, and it's only over 6 months. But with Scotland, the paperwork, like I said, didn't go through until the last day of April of 2019. So her 6-month mark would have hit the last day of October. And the adoption was taking place on that following Saturday, November 2nd. Mm-hmm.
Huh. Your whole thing is so confusing.
It's confusing to me, too.
Yeah. So, okay, when they were taken from you, you didn't see the judge or anything for 2 months, you said.
Right. My attorney seen her in December, and all I could come back with was a psychological. That's it, because the judge had left. We sat there for like 4 hours.
For the psych evaluation?
No, at court, waiting to see the judge. And then my attorney came back and said that the judge had to go to a different county. And they want you to get a psychological. So I got my psychological, and then we got our court date in February 19th of this year.
And then what happened?
The judge denied me, and then we went to a de novo. And in the de novo hearing,
what did the psych eval say?
I passed it with flying colors. Like, I had no mental issues, no nothing. Nothing. I can send you a copy of it.
Oh, I believe you.
And then, so that's it. And then we went to de novo, and in the de novo paperwork, the baby's attorney, a guardian at Lightem, her recommendation was to return the baby to me.
When did they get separated from each other?
So on the permanency paperwork I picked up from when I got back from vacation on August 3rd, it stated that they had given their 30-day notice on her. So I don't know if it end of July or sometime in August.
30-day notice on what?
On the older one.
What do you mean 30-day notice?
So the foster home that they were both in gave their 30-day notice on my 4-year-old. I sent you the paperwork to show you.
Like that.
Because they have too many issues. It's overwhelming or hold on, let me get the exact saying. Okay, it says, at this time, Montana is placed with her biological sibling. However, caregivers have given their 30-day discharge notice of the older sibling due to overwhelming individual needs of both children.
This infuriates me that they make it sound like these children are a piece of property, not children.
But this one, description of child, let me read you this one. Montana, I'm not using her birth name. Montana is a friendly, sensitive, and strong-willed 2-year-old toddler who loves to be held. She is currently placed in a foster home with her older sibling. Montana prefers to play by herself and can be aggressive towards children and animals. Well, I have pictures and videos of that. She plays with other kids, and the little girl I nanny, she was feeding her at like 4 months old, her bottle, and with the dog. Aggressive towards children and animals. When Montana gets upset, she bites, pinches herself and others, or will bang her head against walls or floors.
This is the baby they're talking about?
Yes, ma'am. Never did she ever do that. Okay, and let's backtrack a little bit because I'm going to get into our ECI services right now. So when I had to do an ECI report with her, evaluation with her within 90 days of their adoption. And out of 58, out of 60, she scored a 58. She needed no services. But listen to this part. She loves to eat and will often regurgitate for hours after eating a meal. Montana is currently receiving ECI services due to developmental delays in social skills, communication, and cognitive development. Foster parents report that Montana is slowly making progress in areas of play. She's starting to tolerate bodies of water, which I have pictures of her from the summer prior and videos of her being in the bathtub, and she loves water. Learning to walk up and down stairs, which I have videos of her at 9 months old climbing the stairs. Montana appears comfortable and adjusted to her current placement, and she's particularly fond of her foster father. Montana has recently started to speak 3-word sentences, and her current favorite is "leave me alone."
Can you pause? I like how they specifically state that she has a relationship with the foster father. I feel like that was very intentional.
Because of my husband.
And that there isn't a father in your home.
Yep. But they don't want to adopt him because I have too many problems. So, yep. And then, okay, so they have the date wrong here. It says 4/6/18 kinship placement located, which is me. And then 4/27/18 basic level victim kin removed due to concerns of foster mother's mental health. And they put this as 4/27/18, which they didn't get removed until October of 2019.
So what was the actual date it should have been?
10/17/2019. When it goes right here to basic foster home.
Did you bring all these things up? Because those are so important.
I just got this paperwork in August.
Right, but now we're in October.
And I have my meeting, I have a hearing in October 28th, which I don't have an attorney, and I think it's to take my rights away.
Okay, a couple things that I can offer. We'll talk about it after we're done with this interview.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's finish talking and then we'll go
okay.
over this.
Okay. So that's where she's at. She's gonna go, okay, when I had her, she was 37 pounds. And as of her weight now is 28 pounds. As of July 2nd of this year, she's 32 inches. She has they can't do her eyes, but she has to go see the dentist every 3 months because of the regurgitating her food. Come hell or high water, they will not adopt her out.
Have you had visits with them or anything like that since they've been gone?
Nope. They said that since I'm not the biological parent, I don't have that right. And that I can't even get what our trial is on the 28th, because they're saying I'm not a party to the case, but I don't even know what the trial is on to even try to prepare myself.
Right, and you're wanting to adopt them, not because they've been in the system now, but because that's something that you and bio parents discuss. Like, this has been the plan.
Yes, ma'am.
You need an attorney.
I do need an attorney, and a hell of one too. How can they get away with it? I just picked her pacifiers up off my stairs not too long ago. Her blanket, her her lifeline still has her milk. I'm about to send you another video of her. She was 13 months old saying, no. I'd say, what did I say? And she said, no tickle tickle. I mean, she's smart. Super, super smart. Yep. And now she can say, leave me alone.
Oh, so even as of right now, has anybody told you to basically, like, forget about it? You have no business?
Yep.
Who said that and when?
I don't have just people in general, like, give up, or, you're beating your head against the wall.
So, but I mean, as far as, like, the judge, has the judge or
No.
anybody, okay, so if no friend or family member has said that, do you think you would have lost as much hope?
I've been questioning my hope and stuff the last month or two, like, wanting to give up, but I told myself that I would never give up. I've never fought for anything so hard in my life.
Good.
They're my world. And it kills me to see my baby banging her head against walls.
Have you seen that yourself?
No, I just seen it in black and white.
What do you mean black and white?
From the permanency paperwork. No, I haven't laid eyes on them in a year, almost.
So you haven't even seen them?
No, ma'am. It's not my right. I'm not the biological parent.
I'm very curious as to what's going to happen. Now, I'm a co-host of a radio show.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
On Saturday nights, right?
Yes. Have you ever called in?
Mm-mm. Nope.
I want you to call in this Saturday.
Okay. Will you give me the details?
Yes.
After?
I'm going to give them to you now.
Okay.
You don't need to write them down, because then I will give them to you.
Okay.
But this way they're in the video. The show is from 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which California, because that's where we are. It's on
Yes,
KABC radio, so that's AM. And you can either call in and ask a question or tell a story, and the phone number is 1-800-222-5222. Again, 1-800-222-5222. And you can ask questions. Now, it isn't going to be like this. It's not where you get to, like, tell your whole I'm sorry. You don't get to share your whole story, but you can give a quick version of it, and then do, like, bullet points. And here's my question, and the amazing thing is he's very wise, very knowledgeable, and he's an amazing attorney, and he will give you direction on what you can do or how you can proceed with your attorney if you have one. Just all of that. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am. I've
Okay.
been watching it on YouTube.
Awesome. And so I want you to call in and have your little bullet points ready so that way you can ask him. The things that I fear is because there really hasn't been anything written in stone between you and mom, I'm fearful of what do you have to back you up? Does that make sense?
Right, but in the state of Texas, I do have rights. I have standing rights.
Great.
Because I had her over 6 months.
Okay. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I do know that, the laws are different in every state, so he'll give you the laws based on as if your case was in California, but then at least it gives you something to kind of look into. The other thing that you'll get from my assistant when we're done is she's going to send you, if she hasn't already, a book that he wrote on how to fight CPS and win. And it's really great because it has all of these different laws and different things to file, so that way you can try to, get your rights to these babies. So, question,
Yes,
what
ma'am.
would you say to moms and dads or family members that are listening right now that either had no idea that such corruption existed, or or that they're going through it right now and just could use?
Don't ever answer that. Don't ever let them in your house. Don't let them in your life. And if you do, guard it. If you, go in hiding if you have to. Protect your babies. And CPS is so corrupted, it's not even funny. Liars, idiots. They think they're better than everybody else, and they have more power than they should.
Yep. Yeah, you're right.
If anybody ever needs to talk, you can find me. I will listen, because I will be a voice to my children. And everybody else's kids out there too, if I have to be. And I will be.
You already are, and that's what I appreciate so much, is that parents have no idea that just sharing their own story is helpful.
Mm-hmm. I get a lot of crap because they're like, well, you're a foster parent. And I'm like, well, but I'm in the same situation you're in right now. I just started telling my story.
But you're not just a foster parent, number
I'm a
one.
mom.
You're a mom and you love these babies. And if it wasn't for you, who would be their voice?
CPS, I guess. I don't know. And your biological grandfather loves the fact that I have the kids. I had the kids.
You can't
It's crazy.
You can't let people see the negative. There's always going to be that.
I want to become like one of the biggest advocates you can be. But I have to get my own story told and out there, and
Hey, you are. Today
parents
that first step.
just don't let these people into your life. Everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect.
No.
Everybody's got skeletons in the closet. Everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm there for anybody that needs to just talk.
I appreciate it. Okay, let me shut this off. Anything else that you want to say?
Mm.